Hey guys, welcome back to Any Last Words. I'm your host, Joe. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're not, welcome. I'm just kidding. No, they know I love them. Oh, guys, tonight my guest is Kendell of Terror Nova Podcast. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing, Joe?
Good. We're gonna be talking about like super fucking new Shudder original film, Hunted here shortly. But before then, if you don't mind, I'd like to hear about what you got going on.
Oh, sure, sure. For your audience, my name is Kendell Burton. Nice to meet you all. Born and raised New Yorker. Been here my whole life. Graphic designer by day trade. That's what I do on my free time when I want to have some fun. I watch horror movies and I talk about them a lot on the podcast Terra Nova with me and my friend. We only started a few months back, but we were just like, why not? We've been loving these movies forever. Let's talk about this shit. And I met some great people like Joe here and others on Instagram and stuff like that. So definitely feel free to check us out. Terra Nova Podcast.
Hell yeah. And just in case, you guys, in the description, I have the link for their official website, their Instagram, and their Facebook group that you can follow. So check that out in the description above or below. I don't know where you guys see it at, whatever platform you're on. So because we're on 3 different platforms, so they're all different places. Like, I don't know. So,
Nice,
so you said
nice.
you just started this a couple months ago?
Yeah, back in like September. I believe September was the first time we started. First
Okay.
episode, we did a sleepaway camp.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Phyllis is so cool. And
yeah, it
she
was.
looks the same too.
Yeah, she seems really nice too. I'm gonna try to have her on at some point. She seems really nice.
Or she does for sure. That would be cool. Let me know when you have her on. I want to watch that or listen to it because you guys are just an audio podcast, correct?
Yeah, yeah, audio only at the moment. I'm kind of lazy, so I didn't want to get into the video stuff. I have experience in it, but I was like, I'll just do the audio for now, and if my partner wants to, let down the line, we can get into video. But let's just start here. It was
There
pretty
you
fun.
go. I know. I honestly I hate editing.
Yes.
It's like I'm getting way better at it because I do filmmaking as well now and all this
Hmm.
other stuff. So it's like I've gotten faster at it, but I don't really care for it anymore.
You sound like me editing the episodes of the podcast. I
We
do the
know how
editing.
we have an understanding.
Yeah, yeah, it's something. It's I would say it's an underrated part of being a content creator, right? People always talk about the oh, you get the fans, you get the followers and all that good stuff, but the work behind the scenes that people don't see is the stuff that really kind of makes it happen. So
Oh hell yeah. Oh, real quick, hey to Josh, hey Jesse, and hey Cootie, how you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining us. You guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, make sure you guys like and share this video so other people can watch as well and come jump in and talk to us and listen to us. So, so what got you guys inspired to want to do this project together?
well, my friend Jackie Martinez, she's really nice. We went to college together. We've been friends now for 10 plus years. We went to college. We met in college, and she was one person I could always talk to about horror movies. Like anytime I mentioned any horror movie, she would be like, "Oh, I've seen that," and it was just like her enthusiasm was so over the top. And I always like to joke, even on the podcast, I call her my horror historian because she knows all the terms. She'll be like, "Oh, here's like the actual term for what a vampire slash human is. Like, here's the Latin term for this." Like, she reads the books and stuff. She loves this stuff so much on a level I would say even higher than mine. And I love this stuff just from like viewing the content. But she like really will do the research. And I was thinking about creating a podcast for years. Honestly, for a few years, I've been listening to podcasts for a while. And I finally was like, you know what? With this COVID stuff, everybody being at home, I could get a hold of people now. Let me try to do this. Let me try to make this happen. This give me a reason for me to talk to my friends again and meet more people. And then we just kind of jumped into it. And I told her, I said, if you don't agree to this, we're not doing it. So the weight is on your shoulders. You have to agree to this. And she was like, yes, yes, let's do it. And I was like, great. So it's been fun.
That's so awesome. And this I find has come up a lot in conversations is, people are at home, so they want to do something. They want to still be
Yep.
able to connect with other people and I mean, God, it's been almost a year now. It's been about a year
Yeah.
now. Oh my God. But we've all been kind of forced to stop,
Hmm.
and take time to like reflect and look at ourselves and figure out like what do we want to do. We've got nothing else to do right now. So what do
Yeah.
I want to do? So I think it's really cool because a lot of people have taken advantage of this to figure out what they want to do. And a lot of creative people have, started doing podcasting and more filming and music and all these really great artistic things that I don't think a lot of people really had the time to do before.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
a great point. It's a great
yeah,
point.
so I think it's kind of maybe a little bit of a good thing that came out of all this.
Yeah, you gotta find light in the tunnel, right? In the darkness, and that's pretty much what the podcast was for me. Like I'm not gonna pretend that the COVID stuff hasn't affected my life in one way or another. Like everyone's know someone who's either dealt with it or something like that. But I was just like, man, I keep hearing all this bad news, and I don't even watch the news, and I was hearing bad news. So I was like, I need to put some happiness in the world for me, if not anyone else.
Right?
But let me just start with me, and then it kind of came with that. And yeah, and I luckily I found the perfect partner. I already had a friend in mind, and then we just kind of jumped into it. We have a good time with it. Like we have that's my favorite part about it. We have a good time. We crack jokes. We'll joke about the characters, joke about everything involved. We have a good time. We're not there to be film critics and just talk about how bad a movie is or how great a movie is. We have a good time, and that's what I love about it.
That's awesome. I feel that's what makes a successful show is that when you have that chemistry, because it
Hmm.
shows and people are like, I want more of that. I want to see that. I love that. I need that in my life.
You're right. You're 100% right. That's the main compliment we get, especially from our friends, but even other people. They just like, we love the conversation you guys have. You guys have a good time. And even for the people who don't necessarily love horror movies that I'm friends with, they're like, yo, I get to kind of watch the movie without watching the movie. And you guys make it like digestible. So I love that.
Oh my gosh. So you guys, you said that Sleepaway Camp was your first one.
That was the very first episode.
Um,
Yeah.
I follow a little bit along with you guys the best I can because I'm trying to follow everybody else too.
I
But
understand.
I actually did I did bu- 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 bum. I do a segment once a week called Handful of Horror where I give you horror facts in 10 minutes or less. And I
Oh.
actually did Candyman last week. I did Candyman,
Hmm.
and Eddie Murphy came up, and I actually made a reference to a quick little remark about Vampire in Brooklyn. And you guys were gonna do, or have you done it already? Vampire? No, you did it
Yeah.
already. It's already
It just
up.
came out
So
today.
yes, yes, yes. I saw that, and I was like, I gotta listen to that later tonight because I remember that I had made a quick reference to Eddie Murphy and Vampire in Brooklyn
Hmm.
because I did like Vampire in Brooklyn, but I thought it was it was kind of cheesy,
Yeah.
but I loved it. And Eddie Murphy he was such a cheesy fucking vampire, but it was great.
That and we joke about that because I'm like, yo, Eddie Murphy was like at the peak of his powers when he made that movie,
Yeah,
and it's funny. Like the movie has flaws, but it's funny. We laughed the whole way through. Like, yo, I could have known some of the plot holes because this movie has me laughing to tears.
right, right. Oh my gosh. And that's the thing too. It's like Eddie Murphy has done some crazy ass movies. Like I love
Yes.
The Nutty Professor and like when he
Hmm.
does his characters and shit, that's genius. I love it. But I you look at all that and then like there's Vampire in Brooklyn. Like it's just so like really out there.
Yeah, Wes Craven was involved. Like, how insane is that? Like, that's something else. It's crazy. That movie is funny as hell. Though. If you haven't seen it, if you're watching this, go watch that movie. You're gonna get a laugh out of it one way or another.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. Oh my I God, I think I was like I want to say I might have been around 10 when that movie came out.
It was '95, so it was definitely a long time ago.
Oh, I was 11 then. Yeah. So yeah, damn, pretty close.
Yeah, I remember watching it with my
Oh.
dad laughing. I was like, this movie's goofy. Had it on VHS. It was crazy.
Oh my God, VHS. My parents still have boxes in the garage. I'm like, aren't these fuckers warped by now? Like, do they still
Yeah,
work? Like, nobody knows what the hell a VCR is anymore. Why are these here? Like, they're not relevant anymore.
I don't get it, but I guess people hold on to memories.
Nostalgia, yeah. Oh, real quick. Oh, happy birthday, Fabrizio. I'll send you a message after the show for the rest of your comment. But before that, happy birthday. I hope you've had an amazing day, or I should say, feliz cumpleaños. So he's my fan all the way out in Mexico. So he's a
Oh,
cool
that's
guy.
awesome.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. Um, but yeah, so you guys do this once a week? Do you do this just maybe
Once a
once a
week.
month? Once a week?
Once a
Okay.
week. Once a week.
Do you guys tell people what the topics are beforehand, or you just wait till the day and then let them know? Like, can we know what the
Uh,
next one's gonna be?
oh, actually, I can let you guys know what the next episode
Okay.
is. Like, why not? The next episode we're actually doing is Tales from the Hood, one of the classics from my childhood.
Oh,
Yeah.
how'd you feel
So
about the other ones after that?
I didn't see the sequels. I heard they weren't as great, but I haven't seen
Oh,
them yet. I'm gonna check them out
okay.
soon. I need to do that. But we do the original, and it's a fun episode because I love it because obviously Black History Month is coming up, and
Hmm.
it's not the only time that I do film. We do films that star like Black people. We do all kinds of films because we just love horror, so we do everything.
Right.
But Black History Month, I was like, oh, we definitely gonna get into the films that like some people may have not seen or maybe are underknown, underappreciated. We're gonna get into it, and I pulled on one of my friends who actually isn't a big horror fan. I was like, "Have you seen Tales from the Hood?" He was like, "Nah." I was like, "Dude, you watch anything with Black people, just watch it. Like, I know you don't like horror, but just watch it." And then he loved it so much that he was like, "Okay, I'll come on your podcast." So it was really fun. And that episode, yeah, that'll be out next week. Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff coming up. It's gonna be really great. We have our whole schedule for most of the year. It's gonna be fun though.
Nice. I'm excited. I want to hear that. I'm gonna hear that next week.
We're gonna bring you on too, because that's we had a conversation. So by default, you get invited now. That's kind of our rule.
Oh, okay.
If you hop in the DMs, you get an invite. That's kind of the rule for our page.
I gotta hook you up with my friend Aaron. He does. I don't know if you've heard of the podcast Horror with Sir Sturdy.
It sounds familiar.
He's a pretty cool guy too. He does a lot of horror movie reviews. He talks a lot of shit.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
he's real fucking fun. You'll love him. He's real fun. So
Definitely introduce me. I'm down for it.
for sure, I'll introduce you guys afterwards. I don't know how to say this username, so excuse me for butchering it. The one car won us. I'm just gonna read it how I see it, like a license plate. So, but hi, thank you for joining as well. uh, okay, so we're about the halfway mark, so I think it's a safe segue to kind of get into our other topic for tonight.
Sure.
Oh, hey, Steven, it's Steven. You're like, I don't know who Steven is. Who the hell, Steven?
I'm assuming he's a nice guy. You
Yeah,
you shot
yeah.
him out, so
I just smile and nod.
that works in most situations.
Right? Oh my gosh. So sorry. So we're talking about what did you say, 2 weeks ago it came out? The new
It came
Shudder.
out roughly 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Geez, that is one of the most recent films I think I've seen in a very long time. Theater's been closed for a year. But yeah,
Yeah.
horror.
Okay.
Shudder's new horror film that is kind of like a reimagining, if you will, of Little Red Riding Hood or Red
Yeah, that's
Riding
kind of what
Hood.
they say. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
the summary says.
Yeah. So spoiler alert, if none of you guys have seen it, sorry, not sorry. This is what we are talking about tonight because it's what we watched. So you guys knew what you're walking into. So sorry, getting comfortable now. So I really like this movie. This was different. I actually at some parts started thinking of Three Little Pigs. Like I did. I had to keep stopping and reminding myself this is Red Riding Hood, not Three Little Pigs.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But you know
Yeah.
what? I don't think anybody was safe in that movie. Everybody got fucked up in that movie.
Yeah. Hunted was it was something else. It was something else. It was not what I thought. I didn't know what the film was really about. Like we talked kind of briefly before we came on. I was like, I don't really watch trailers, so I have no idea what 90% of films I'm watching are about. I just saw the poster for Hunted, and I was like, yo, this poster looks really good. Like I said, I mentioned to you, and I mentioned briefly, I do graphic design. I do all of the assets for the podcast too, and all that stuff. I personally design the stuff. I'm really the shit at what I do. and but I saw the poster for this movie for Hunted, and I was like, yo, this looks cool. Like I like the way it looks visually. Like this looks interesting. I wonder what's gonna happen with this. And it's a nice little survival horror. It wasn't exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, it just had it didn't at all look like what was going to happen in the movie. I mean, the horror, yeah, but you wouldn't know it's a Little Red Riding Hood reimagining type film by
Yeah,
looking. You're right. So, but yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore about this movie. It's just everybody got fucked up. Everybody got fucked up. And I laughed at a lot of that too. I don't know if that makes me horrible or what, but I
oh no, I
laughed
lied.
when she spoiler alert, when she picked up that big ass boulder and she chucked it down at his face, I
Yeah,
fucking started rolling, dude. I was like, fuck, she got you in the face.
yeah, that was so good. That was so good. That scene made me laugh so hard. There's something about people being chased sometimes in horror movies like that's kind of funny. And
Uh-huh.
like something about that scene, that chase just felt really funny. Like it felt kind of goofy. It wasn't like beautiful by any means. She's just literally trying to get
No,
away and just picks up whatever she can find and just chugs it at the guy. And that shit made me laugh
that shit
almost
was so
endlessly.
funny. That was so funny. Oh my God. Uh, um, let me ask real quick. What was your favorite scene in the movie? Like, what was your favorite? Like, even if it was a mashup scene, like where somebody just got,
Hmm.
somebody just mashed the fuck out of somebody else. Like, what was your favorite scene in the movie, if you have one?
Oh, I definitely do because I watched
Okay.
it with my lady, and even we both laughed at the scene I'm about to mention.
Okay.
there's a scene, I think like about 45 minutes in, after the guy who was chasing her, who's been chasing her, pursuing her throughout most of the movie, he gets shot with an arrow, and he like
Uh-huh.
he pulls the arrow out, and he's kind of like just kind of panicking, trying to figure out kind of how to deal with the situation. It's been a rough night for him too,
Uh-huh.
and she lets out like her battle. She lets out a scream. She's like
Oh
ah,
yeah.
and then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you, and she's just screaming like ah, and he thinks she's screaming because she's scared, but she's screaming because she's angry.
Uh-huh.
And when she picks up the club and goes running towards him, and he's still hallucinating, so he can't tell if it's her or not, and he's just like, "That's not her." And he puts his hand in front of his face, and he takes it away.
Yeah.
He's like, "That's not her." And then he pulls his hand and gets hit with the club. That scene made me laugh so hard. Honestly, that should have been the end of the movie because she should be dead. But that just made me laugh so hard because she was so mad.
Dude, most of those people should have been fucking dead after. Like, dude, okay, so homeboy got like, oh, there's something in my tummy. There's something in my tummy. I'm hurt. And then his friend goes, does that hurt? Does that hurt? and then and then he gets smacked. I mean, I'm sorry, that rock was huge. That was
Yes,
like she went like this, and like it was
that
a
was a blowjob.
downward force. And
Yeah,
that should have, I mean, his face was like all split. Like he should have just been out and then just
yep.
died and hemorrhaged out on the fucking the leaves somewhere out there. And then I thought the most gnarliest part was when like way later in the movie, like maybe about 30 minutes before it ends,
Hmm.
um, when he's looking for his dog and he walks up on the lady who was telling the story at the beginning with the little boy,
Yeah,
and they go through all their stuff and he's just being a total fucking creep. Like that dude was really, he was a
he was
fucking
nasty.
creeper.
He
He a
he was nasty.
creeper. So yeah, he nasty. A nasty hoe. But so he takes the arrow and he goes behind her and he's like, and they take their time on that shit too. It's not
Yeah.
like it's in there. He's like, I'm gonna dig around in there and make sure I get it. But she should have been dead too. She didn't fucking die.
Yeah, and to tell you the truth, that's the only scene in the movie I didn't like. Was that
Really?
scene? Yeah, and it was only because a part of me was like, hold up. She is a survivalist. She's been out here training all these years, and she was already skeptical of this man, and then she still let him go behind her back. I was like, come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was the only thing that kind of bugged me. I was like, come on, like she seemed like she was prepared for danger. That's some bullshit. He ain't seem trained at all.
Mm-hmm. That's why you just called her a paranoid bitch. So
Exactly. I was like, come on, but it's fine. But yeah, that was kind of gritty. That was kind of gritty.
yeah. I stood there, I was like, Mike, I don't know why. I just instantly covered my mouth when that happened. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah,
Wait, it's not fucking done. No, he's still going. Oh, that's so nasty.
yeah. This film definitely dwelled in that. When it got to those scenes, it definitely didn't hold back. It showed you a little bit more. It was dope. Though. I really liked it. It was a fun movie.
I did too. I did too. It wasn't like it didn't have to, it wasn't I didn't see any CGI in it. Like, not that I noticed.
Not that I could think of. Maybe yeah, I don't know because with films and
Yeah.
stuff like that, there's so
Oh,
many
I think
CGI things that we don't even realize are
yeah. I was thinking
CGI.
about it. It might have been a scar that was CGI, like the Uzi. I think
Oh,
some of it
maybe
was practical and some of it was CGI, but it wasn't like horror. I could be wrong. It wasn't horrible, but I could be wrong. But
maybe
I
yeah,
liked it because it wasn't overdone with extra shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it was very basically done,
yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, I get what you mean.
So,
It wasn't. It definitely didn't have like crazy locations or anything like that. The movie kind of
yeah.
like reveled in like what it was. It was like, nah, this is what the film is, and it kind of stuck to that. And I really like that too. And I really like the folktale element of it, where they tried to like tie in the story from like the beginning about the
Mhm.
woman who was like attacked by this priest who was leading all of these people and essentially doesn't know what to do because he's just leading a bunch of people to nowhere. And he
Mhm.
stumbles upon a woman and is like, God has told us that we need to eat this woman. And then the wolves came and kind of helped her, and I really like that tale. It was kind of interesting. That like, I don't know, women. Let's be real. Like you're a woman, so you ain't even got to get close out in this. But women, y'all magical. Like it's saying y'all different than men. Like you guys are magical beings. You're just different from us.
We magical or we just freaky?
It's a little bit of both. Yeah, y'all
Uh,
magical beings. So it's like, and you're probably tied to nature in a way that men really aren't. And I think that the film was kind of trying to make that a point where like the wolves kind of helping her, and then even the wolf kind of helping her at the end, and even the hog who got in the way when they were driving her back to their hideout. Like the film was really trying to make a point about like the connection to nature, and I thought that was pretty interesting. They didn't overtell it,
okay.
but I thought that was really cool.
Okay, I didn't really look at it that way, but I can definitely for sure see that. Yeah, because I did notice that like the nature was helping her, but I wasn't
Hmm.
thinking of it in that way. I was just nature's helping this. What do they call her? The wolf girl or something like that?
That's what they called the girl at the beginning. Yeah, the wolf girl.
Yeah,
The
wolf
priest called
girl.
her a witch.
Yeah. But yeah, I noticed in the movie, didn't like the leaves like cover themselves over her when she was sleeping?
Yeah, when she went to bed at
Okay.
night, the leaves kind of like made a bed for her, so she like
Mhm.
slept comfortably. Yeah, and like remember the crow went onto the kid's
Yeah.
head when he was about to attack her, which made the kid stop because remember his mom told him that story at the beginning about the woman. That's why he
Yeah.
turned. He was like,
Hmm.
"Oh yeah, this ain't a good look," and that's why he started to help her. Like I thought that was really smart. It's like they didn't try to oversell that side of the story, but I thought that was really cool. Something I've never seen
Yeah.
before, honestly.
For sure. Like I said, thank you for introducing me to this movie because it was very nice. It was refreshing. It was, like we said earlier before the show, it's not a remake, it's not a continuation, it's not a sequel.
Yeah,
It is a reimagining, but nobody's doing Grimm's fairy tales right now, and they haven't in a long time.
yeah,
So, and I feel it's just an inspiration. It's not a remake
yeah.
or anything. It's just a
I
slight
agree.
inspiration. So, and oh man, you know what's crazy is that guy who played the wolf. I actually knew somebody who looked like that, who acted like a freaking creep like that too. And I was like,
Ah,
I
that's
genuinely don't like you, sir. So,
yeah, that's the kind of dude that your parents warn you about.
oh, that's that creeper you don't talk to in the bar. You're like, you know
Yeah,
what?
pretty
I
much.
have to go pee. I'm gonna be back.
Yeah,
I
that
left
dude
my
was trash.
watermelon shot in the bathroom. I'll be back.
Yeah, that dude was trash. He was the worst.
Yeah, that dude was fucking trash. Oh, you were probably paying better attention than I was. So that the guy that was with him, was
Hmm.
that his brother or was that a dude he had groomed?
I think it was a dude that he groomed. Like they don't exactly explain it, but I don't think they
Hmm.
were actually related. I think it was just a dude that
Okay.
he's groomed because he tried to. And I'm only make that an assumption because when he got with the son after he killed the
Hmm.
mother, he kind of started to try to do the same thing, and then it turned very quickly. So that's the only assumption
Yeah.
I can make is that he groomed him.
Yeah, I got some weird like when they were in the camp, like some weird little pedo vibe because he came down and he's like,
Yeah,
"You watching porn, son? It's all right. I got a bunch of good stuff I can show you." It's like, dude, back up. Like,
yeah. We
stranger
just met.
danger,
What are
you
you talking
creep.
about?
Like, I never wanted to go to Boy Scouts, so please go away.
Definitely. Yeah, it was.
uh,
I would definitely assume he was more so grooming. It was really, really weird. Really
yeah,
creepy.
it was. And it's what I kind of liked. I mean, as much as I didn't like this character, Not just because he reminded me of some creep that I actually like had known before that actually looked and acted like that guy. Not like
Hmm.
that guy like that. No way, that's gross.
Yeah.
But I like that they really made him really disgusting and evil and nasty. I mean, not just in one way, like, because there
Hmm.
was the one time where he looked at the guy and he's like, oh, do I disgust you? Like, you think you're gonna get AIDS from me and stuff because he wiped the bottle before he drank out of it.
Yeah.
So you can tell he's very careless, and however he contracted that was because of, really probably not very good reasons, like just by looking at his situation. Um, he grooms, so he manipulates a lot. He
Yeah.
kills people. He's like got he's
Icky all
he
around.
yeah, he's just icky all around. He's in so many different categories as a gross villain than I
Yeah.
think a lot of other villains are placed in. So I kind of like that. And they didn't over really do it with one or another. It's just like you got a piece here and a piece there, and you just knew he was fucking gross. Like,
Pretty much, yeah. You even see him watching the tapes of things he's done to women in the past, and you're like, oh, okay, dude, you kind of revel in this. Like, this is your thing.
hmm
This isn't just like a one-off. Like you went crazy this night and wanted to do something. This is what you do.
hmm
There's something wrong with you.
Yeah, and he likes to play the head games because it's like, oh yeah, we'll let you out of the car, and then it's like, oh no, but we'll go to my house, and then it's like, oh no, we'll let you out of the car, and then they mess with her, and then they come back
Yeah,
and mess with her more, so they're like mentally messing with her too, like, ugh,
yeah.
icky.
They were really toying with her. One thing I say I really like though about this film, and even with all of the craziness that's happening, I feel like with films like this, you tend to see the woman go through some crazy traumatic shit and then get revenge. Like, for example, I think of like I Spit on Your Grave.
hmm
Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not a wimp when it comes to horror, but that movie was a bit much for me.
You
That
know what? I
movie,
have not seen it. I have not seen it because there are certain things I can't bear to watch, and I know it makes
yeah,
me sound like a snowflake. I'm not trying to be a little snowflake,
no, it's fine.
but but there are just some things that I personally just cannot watch because it just bothers me so bad, and I'm just so that I heard about that one, and I was like, I really thank you, but no, thank you. Like, I don't mean to be a dick,
I
but I
don't
don't want
blame
to
you.
watch them. So
I don't blame
yeah,
you.
I don't blame you either. Like that's like, yeah, ugh.
I watched it just because like I heard it was a good film. Somebody didn't tell me what happened in it. They just told me like it's kind of a
Oh.
survival horror thing, but so I didn't know necessarily what happened. I just knew this woman was going to get revenge. And then I watched I Spit on Your Grave, and I was like, all right. So I had to watch this woman get tormented for 40 minutes, and then she finally gets 10 minutes of revenge. I was like, I'm good. I need to.
Whoa, are you serious?
Yeah, and like the torture in that film was it was a bit much. Like it was more than just like them raping her. It was a lot of things happening. So for her to even just get revenge and kill them, in my opinion, I was like, this ain't enough. They tormented you for
Yeah.
most of this film.
But
And
if you think about it, that kind of sounds like life though, like real life shit. Like these victims, like in situations kind of like where they get kidnapped and they get tortured
yeah,
and stuff, their justice only lasts like 10 minutes and then
it's unfortunate. Yeah,
whatever happens, happens. So I can kind of see maybe like, I don't know, just in my opinion, don't mean it's right, but maybe a parallel between real life and the amount of time in the movie for all that shit. I don't know.
maybe. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm just saying that movie was crazy. But so like to go back to Hunted, I feel like with Hunted, this I'm happy the story kind of revolved around her slightly getting out of these situations before it got that bad. So because of
hmm
the folk tale aspect of it, it never got to that level of like no return or her. Like it was still bad. Obviously, I'm sure she needed therapy after that night, but at
Ooh.
least it never got to the level of like her experiencing the full terror of these two guys who attacked her. And most horror films, at least a lot of the ones I've seen, the woman usually has to go through all of that shit and then make
hmm
the comeback. And sometimes you question if the comeback is worse than the downfall. So I like that about this film. It's easier to watch, in my opinion, because it's not that, because it doesn't get to that level.
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely do. So, we are actually coming up to the end of the show here, sir.
Okay,
And how much would you recommend this movie to people?
I would highly recommend. It's a fun watch. It's a fun watch.
I would too. I do. So you guys check out Hunted on Shutter if you have Shutter. Shutter gives me problems sometimes, so I don't always have Shutter.
I've heard that. I've heard different people had different experiences
Yeah.
with that. I think I've been fortunate so far.
Yeah, I had to re-download it today, and then
Mhm.
it took me like 4 or 5 times of putting in the same email and password to get in because it kept telling me it's wrong. It's like, no, it's not, motherfucker. I just re-downloaded this shit. It's not. I just put it in. So
You about to ruin your Shutter sponsorship. You
they better sponsor me now. And I'm gonna. That was $5 of my money. I could have got me 2 orders of tiny tacos. Oh my
so
gosh.
true.
Okay, you guys check that movie out, and you guys need to check out Terror Nova podcast. The description or in the description, you guys can find the link for their official website, their Instagram, and their Facebook. So you guys click on that and check it out. Kendall, thank you so much for joining me. I had a fucking blast, and I need to have
Thank
you
you.
and Jackie on.
Yes.
And do you have any last words for our viewers tonight?
Oh man, stay safe during this time. Watch some good movies and keep watching this show. That's really it. Keep Joe entertained and keep coming on here being and talking about things. That's really it. I'm gonna tune
Give me
in.
something to do.
I understand completely.
Tired of cleaning my house and eating chips.
It's not a bad way to spend time either.
Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you guys for joining. Any last words? Again, thank you, Kendall, for joining us.
Thank you.
And you guys come back tomorrow night this week. The topic of the week is Beetlejuice. So we're going to talk about Beetlejuice
Ooh.
tomorrow night. And for Horror on Wednesday is going to be facts about Beetlejuice you did not know. And Joe's Creepy Kitchen on Friday is going to be Beetlejuice inspired food. So come back and see it. So thank you guys so much for joining. As soon as I can find my outro video. All right, guys. Thank you, creepy bastards. I will see you guys tomorrow night.